world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
Picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
Homeward to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone.
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over on a line shot.
I can't believe my eyes.
With season 20 in full swing, week 3 brings us 2 SMNL legends turned XBLers. Our first foe presents a deadly rotation stacked to the brim with tools. This roster mix of deadly velo and mind-bending junk has caused bits for those who don't come prepared for the gauntlet. In addition, this Canada Baseball Club displays one of the best eyes the XBL has ever seen. Now they stand ready, eager to display their skill in the prime time. Facing them, a close game maestro. With a plethora of boppers and a bullpen built around paradise, this opponent hopes to lean into their strength and cause mayhem. After a slow start to the year, this squad looks to turn it around and blossom under the bright lights. It is Veganvibes and the Ottawa Rhubarbs facing TeflonDonLemon and the Rio de Janeiro Flower Bombs. Welcome to XBL Match of the Week.
There we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to XBL Match of the Week here in Season 20, Week number 3. Joining me this evening here is Mystery Man. Mist, how are you, my friend?
I'm as good as I can be, Zlat. We got XBL baseball. We got 2 really good players here. A little surprising to see Teflon falling down in the standings after really doing well last season. So you hate to see that. But a very talented player. And then Veganvibes. Oh, such a welcome return having Vegan back in the mix here. And he's got his absolutely Hall of Fame team here with there's 22 Rachels on the field at all times. They've got slightly varied names, but you're basically fighting Rachel the entire time, which, she's basically the GOAT of Super Mega Baseball for a lot of people. And I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Teflon here, struggling, but at the same time, definitely has the type of game that he can get hot.
Yeah, both players kind of, I think part of one of these points I have here is that, Teflon has started to show up a little more, especially offensively in the most recent series we saw posted between Teflon and AJ. Putting up double digits in a single game. It always feels good to do that. And so with that being the most recent series there, I think that's good news for Teflon and Flower Bombs fans out there that want to see this team really unlock their offensive potential. We know it's possible. And, for a couple seasons, I think you could really maybe point to the roster tool, roster sheet, being some skill that had to be kind of grappled with and learned, and now that's starting to come to fruition a little bit here. Maybe a rocky start to their season in some aspects, but getting the offense going is, this is the time to do it. We're here in week 3. They've got about a dozen games under their belt now at this point, so you definitely want to start to see the offense click, and we've absolutely been seeing that offense click here for Vegan and the Rhubarbs, just going on a tear. some really valuable splits against Mama and the Civilization, as well as Flash. Just two top teams always in contention there. And then, a sweep over AJ. Just some really nice, solid results. Really taking a lot of those games by storm as well. So always good to see Vegan, playing at their high level. We know that they're capable of that with the bat. Their bat to ball skills are, they're not unmatched. I mean, they are very highly skilled, and where I'm going with that is, the BABIP figure there. Vegan is, I think, career BABIP is 392, which, just for reference, folks, that's going to put him in the realm of Mush. Mush is at 392 as well, exactly. So they're tied there. Slightly ahead of them is Flurabelle at 399 career. Close to them as well, Spaceman. And then you get into that upper tier of AJ, Luke, Lazy, those folks, Ashnot, of course. So just some really interesting stats to go dive into. But maybe let me get us back on track here and kind of talk about, we talked about feeling the vibes there, but maybe dot the corners. I think, Mist, you'd say that both of these players on a good day, they can pitch well, but that's maybe not what they're most well known for. I think tonight's matchup, we're going to have to see both players really kind of walk it in on the mound with how, dangerous both of their offenses have been.
Yeah, to be quite frank, I don't think Teflon has the type of accuracy, kind of like myself. He's a smart pitcher, but I don't think he has the accuracy to really hold Vegan down. That's a player that you definitely have to lean on accuracy. So that's kind of why I was kind of saying Teflon is a streaky hitter. He's kind of an awkward hitter, and he's a slick hitter. He guesses location. He's always thinking what the pitcher is thinking, which I hate to do. I like to sit there and wait for the same thing every time. But when he gets it going, he's really tough, and that's what I'm hoping for. I think it's possible we could get a split here. I think if it's going to be a sweep, it probably is Vigs. I think slightly more talented at this time, but I'm hoping that Teflon can pull off a split here, just because I like primetime splits for both players.
Yeah, I think a split would be well appreciated by Teflon. Maybe you could argue a team's in a similar tier to myself, where a streaky player doesn't always have everything going at the same time very often, but when they do, they can be a nice little bottle of lightning to surprise the top opponent. And the way the Vegan's been playing, as I mentioned, is getting some of those key victories there, putting themselves in a good position in the standings, especially come playoff cutoff time. I mean, this is kind of an opponent, Vegan's caliber, that they would look to expect a sweep almost. But even just earning that sweep is really solid for, if you were to consider Vegan maybe a mid-table team. Getting sweeps is a really big deal, actually. So those one or two maybe extra wins at the end of the season really change the dynamic and which side of the bracket you fall on at the end of things. So with that being said, we want to try to be cognizant of the players' time here and kind of wrap up our little pre-show here. We'll go ahead and message the players to let them know they're good to get underway in just a moment, and we will bring you folks the action. So stay tuned. We will get the game rolling on your screens here momentarily. Let me get this popped up here, and then we will be good to go, folks.
Got it. Oh yeah, I've got it here. Let us know if you can hear us, folks. Let us know if you can hear Zlat.
There we go. Let's see. That should be a little better. All right. Finally getting audio feedback. See if I can do anything about quality here. Looks like we're running at 720 on Discord. That's not really much we can control, so we're just gonna have to work with it here.
It's actually coming out okay on the
Okay.
on the website, so you're good.
Good deal. All right, looks like an early strikeout there for Teflon. Leadoff strikeout. That'll be the first out here at the corral, home of the rhubarbs. As Ginkgo Gotham steps into the dish now. It's going to be Lucy Lemon on the mound.
Yeah, brutal turtle arsenal coming with a lot of everything.
Low fastball just missing the zone there. Good eye from Teflon. Try to take this into a hitter's count. Changeup just catches the inside corner. So we're going to see that count evened up here at 2-2. Teflon would love to get an early base runner, one right down the pipe, but maybe they weren't expecting it, looking for something else. They're going to be sent to the dugout as well. So leading off the game here in back-to-back strikeouts, Lucy Lemon feeling it. She throws another one down the middle. Teflon expecting something else. Needs to try to grab their bearings here, take a breath, and settle in. Count is quickly 0-2. Lemon is relentless on the mound. Another one over the plate. Strike three swinging, and they strike out the side to start off match of the week here.
Interesting to see Teflon just sitting in the middle like that. That's not the Teflon I'm used to seeing. I think he might be trying to pile up some pitch count against a monster pitcher.
Gonna have to get to work on the mound here. Vegan's eye is, very difficult to pitch to. They have a great awareness of the strike zone, and they send that one into shallow center field for a leadoff single. Brianna Blueberry stepping in now, carries that high pitch trait. Something to watch out for as Teflon throws the first pitch low of the zone, just barely missing that ball. This one popped up behind the plate. Catcher might have a play on it, and they do get there. They do get under. It's kind of an awkward camera angle, but able to secure the first out here.
Interesting to see the cut fastball. That's not typically a pitch that you would feature against a Veganvibes, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know if Vegan is truly a daughter, but they definitely seem to play like it with how good their eye can be. This one over the middle, knocked down by the pitcher on the comebacker. Throw to first is going to be late. For some reason, the first baseman was just lazily standing around. Not sure why they weren't on the bag and ready for a catch, but either way, it would have been close. Everybody's safe there, so still one out. First pitch swinging, fly ball to center is not deep enough to advance anybody. So there's two away here with two on. It's Gertrude stepping in with RBI hero. Curveball missing for ball one. Another curveball misses outside. So starting off 2-0 here. Cut fastball low and in. Does hit the zone. Another fastball grounded to first. Had solid contact, but a broken bat is going to result in a weak hit there to the first base side. And danger averted for now for those flower.
Yeah, that was a fantastic half inning for the Flower Bombs. Just getting out of inning one against these players that have great eyes is often extremely difficult. You're a little bit cold coming in, and you don't want to pile up 35 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, good for them to get away with that unscathed, and they got a base runner here. Leadoff hit in the second. Swing and a miss, but it was a hit and run, and they are in safely to second base. So runner in scoring position here for the Flower Bombs, looking to strike first. They have a solid hitter at the plate here as well. Big Baby Blossom carries the high pitch and the Mind Gamer trait. Lucy Lemon starting to miss the zone a bit here, 2-0. See if Blossom can find a pitch they're sitting on. Right down the middle off speed, but Teflon thought it was a fastball. Swing and a miss. Still ahead in the count. And a good eye to take a changeup in the dirt there. Hitters count now 3-1. Ball four issued. Lucy Lemon looking a little nervous now on the mound as the 7-spot hitter steps into the dish. First pitch missing outside. Double plays in effect here. Rhubarb's looking to get a ground ball. Oh, and they do get a ground ball over to the first base side, on to second, back over to first, not in time. The batter had good speed, so there's runners at the corners now here with 2 outs. Oh man, another juicy pitch, just not being able to take advantage of it here. Teflon has an even count, now 2-1 in their favor. Off-speed hitter as well, gets one launched into center field. That's going to find the grass on a diving play. Just coming up short there was that center fielder. So the first run of the evening goes in the way in favor of the Flower Bombs. Looking to continue the pressure here. Runners on first and second, all the way down to the 9-spot hitting pitcher, who hits one, just foul, just barely goes foul before crossing the bag. 1-2 count again after that pitch is fouled away. And a beautiful fastball catching that upper inside corner for strike 3. So Lemon gives up 1, but punches a strikeout to end the inning here. They're gonna, Rhubarbs, be back at the dish and look to get to work offensively themselves.
Yeah, I'm excited for Teflon here, though, because he did pile up a lot of pitches there for a monster pitcher. What you don't want if you're vegan is to have her working that hard early.
Yeah, I have to see how the bullpen management comes into play this game, as pitch count's going to be high for vegan starting early. And Samba strikes here, entering the 20-pitch threshold now. This one, a beautiful gapper hit into right center, tracked down quickly by the center fielder to avoid any extra bases, but it's yet another leadoff single for the Rhubarbs. It's like a relatively decent catcher arm, but not maybe not as high of a value as I would expect for most XBL players. There's a wild pitch, and that's gonna... Oh no, the runner retreats. They may have thought they'd be out. It's also a 3-0 count here, so probably a lag pitch given where that location ended up. Teflon's gonna have to battle and dig in deep here. 3-1. Changeup. Vegan does bite at it, and it goes foul, so battling back into a full count here, but they take outside, low and away for ball 4.
Yeah, I don't really understand not having a monster arm on your catcher. It doesn't have to be 99, but there's no reason whatsoever to not have it be at least 90. You know, that might cost you, 2 or 3 power points at the most to get, from 70 to 95. So it doesn't make any sense.
Ground ball up the middle, diving shortstop makes a play. Only play was truly at first, and they do convert the out. So both other runners advance to second and third, 1 out here. And we're going to see them pitch to the pitcher. Outfield goes shallow. Count is 1-1. Lucy Lemon hoping to help the cause. Takes ball 2 just outside. I'm surprised to see that call the ball. Cut fastball inside to second. Throw is to first. I don't think they had the arm to get that lead runner, but yeah, the Rhubarbs dudes out of the game there on the RBI ground out, and there's still another runner there just 90 feet away. The Rhubarbs looking to take their first lead of the game here if they can get a single or better. Count falls to 1-1 there after the curveball catches the upper outside corner, matched by the fastball. Another fastball on its way, but that one's looped into left field, and the Rhubarbs will convert that runner, taking a 2-1 lead here in the second inning.
If those are the ones that hurt, it's such a good pitch. I was doing that to Ty all day yesterday, and he just continued to get hits on that.
Vegan takes 2 balls low. This one lined hard to the right fielder. Play. It's a 9-3 put out for the 3rd out of the inning. What a way to end it. The Flower Bombs showing off the arm in right field. You don't see that every day, Mist.
No, that's a great play. And, if you're the Flower Bombs, you're the one looking to steal some games here. So as long as he can keep it close, he's already piled up some pitch count.
Yeah, pitch count dangerous for both players. Another ball right over the heart of the plate, fouled off this time. Count falls at 1-1. Now 2-1 after the cut fastball misses low and inside. Another cut fastball, and I think we'll expect to see Vegan continue to just barrage the Flower Bombs batters with those cut fastballs in on the hands. It's just difficult at that 93 ego to track, and really just to lay off. I think it's kind of difficult, but they do go 1-2-3 there in the third. Rhubarb's back up at the plate, and their offense was starting to heat up a little bit right before that 9-3 put out. Third baseman dives for this one, unable to get there. A third consecutive leadoff single here for the Rhubarbs to start the match of the week.
Yeah, and strikes already laboring, and it's going to get worse fast here, intense to boot.
Teflon throws fishes with the curveball in the dirt. Nothing doing. That's a comebacker off the pitcher's head. Catcher's able to corral the ball and get the out, so they steal a hit away, and it's turned into an out, but at the cost of Samba Strikes taking one off the rocker.
Yeah, now you play the exit velo game just to see if it flies. The problem is trying to locate with it.
Yeah, and to be fair, Samba Strikes does carry injury prone, so there's absolutely no chance of the pitcher avoiding getting hit in the head and taking the full brunt of that injury here. So they're looking to escape the inning, see how far Teflon's going to carry them into this game. They just have about 55 pitches now here in the third inning. There's a hard hit ground ball that the second baseman for out number 2 does advance that runner to third. And yeah, there's just no velo at all remaining for Samba.
Yeah, that was an incredible locate by Teflon. If we can get one more of those, he's out of here.
Cut fastball hits the zone in that lower corner. 1-1 count. Now falling to 2-1. Teflon working at a rather quick pace here. Vegan might look to hit in a 3-1 hitters count. Lays off the changeup, catches the zone. The count goes full with 2 outs. Teflon contemplating where to deliver this final pitch. Another changeup in the same spot and gets Vegan missing.
Wow, what pitching by Teflon. That's really not typically his pedigree, but he really did a fantastic job there.
Did a fantastic job and just is hoping to find some offensive success. They had a little bit earlier in the game, but it's slowly dwindled away. Looking to get it back into gear here, though. Quick out, and now 0-2. Make it 3 strikes in a row there. Vegan dealing with the strikeout for out number 2 here in the fourth. Grounder to second. They'll go 1-2-3 again and look to get the job done on the mound. Samba's going to continue to stay in the game here. Teflon realizing they're going to need a little more length out of this brutally injured pitcher.
If he can keep hitting corners, you're not going to be able to hit that ball very, very hard. It's very difficult, though, to catch anything. If he starts missing, he's going to have to pull this pitcher. But as long as he's getting away with it.
Oh, he gets away with that.
It seems like Vegan's timing is clearly ahead of. I'm not sure Vegan realizes, but the ones that are meatballs, he's pulling every time foul.
Well, there was a full count work there. Turned into ball 4, the curveball missing high. There's a bit of a lag pitch. I think that missed location. Although Discord is not doing me any favors here. The quality of stream is tells us 720, but I do not buy that for 1 second. I feel like I'm watching this through a potato. I hope it's better for the stream itself. But
the stream looks fantastic, so the chat's pretty happy right now.
Yeah, I'm watching
Minecraft. They don't care what we say, Slap. They want to see the game.
A strikeout there from Teflon, a great pitch as acknowledged by V in the quick chat. So first out of the inning is a strikeout. Gonna turn over the lineup for Lacey Lychee. Runners at first and second. This is typical Rhubarbs looking to drive a ball into the gap, score 1, potentially 2 runs if there's base rounder on that trail runner. Count is now at 1-2 though. Some solid pitching, finding his spots as Teflon. A soft looping fly ball to first, throw back over to double him up is not in time, so they do convert the second out, and they're looking to put away this Rhubarb's threat here in the fourth.
I don't know how I've seen players do this before with empty pitchers. I don't know how they do it because technically you can't do it. I think there must be some RNG kicking in because the pitchers have been hot here. So he's able to get away with that empty pitcher with almost zero accuracy. And credit to him because even in that case, it's still extremely difficult to locate with a pitcher with sub 30 accuracy.
Yeah, the velo is debatably a benefit depending on who you're throwing it against, but the accuracy, of course, is going to be a big issue. And so, yeah, absolute credit to Teflon for being able to hit their spots with such a hit to the accuracy as well. I'd expect the next time they go out on the mound, you might reel in the leash and go to your bullpen, at least your SPRP, just to kind of get something. But that being said, they have been hitting their spots and getting out of some tricky situations, so maybe they'll give him another inning. We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, though, looks like we have 1 away, 2-2 count. This one looped over to second, not going to find the grass. Instead, it'll find the weather of that second baseman for out number 2. And I guess we got our answer here, Mist, because this is the pitcher batting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based on what a great hitter Vegan is, anything that's working, you can't toy with it. He needs to see Vegan smashing this pitcher before he comes out, or if he just can't locate.
Yeah, and that was actually great contact given the batting stats of that pitcher. Just nothing to work with there, so it does fall into the glove of the outfielder for the final out. As we see them back on the mound at work here, hitting an outside cutter over to the second baseman on the ground for out number 1. So I lost track last inning. I don't know if that ends the streak of leadoff singles now here in the 5th. But it's a good sign for Teflon and the Flower Bomb starting to put some of these Rhubarb's batters away and avoid base runners.
Ooh, wow.
Not going to do it there. Shortstop gave it their best effort, but that ball was hit too hard. Earns a single here, and that'll bring some decisions for Teflon to make. They do finally go to the bullpen here, bringing in Paradise, the K collector with an elite cutter. Actually also carrying 5 pitches as they throw the screwball. First pitch for a strike. Oh, this one hit hard and well. Player position switching was giving Teflon a bit of trouble for a moment, but they nicely recover and get the left fielder under that fly ball to secure the second out.
Yeah, Veeks is kind of an interesting hitter. You can throw moving pitches. Because the reason being sometimes he can really get to the fastball, even if it's on the corner or even slightly off. The only thing is with those moving pitches is you have to locate those pitches, and they're a little more difficult to do that.
Yeah, so Teflon does a nice job there to get through another clean inning. Did get up that single, but we're going to have to see their reticle placement here offensively start to click because, Vegan's not really been threatened at all since that second inning, I think it was, when the Flower Bombs had a couple hits, strung some together, and got a run as well. This one knocked over to third. Throw is in time for the first out.
You could see Teflon he's not liking facing Lemon right now. It seems like she's gotten her bearings, and he's behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, these inside fastballs and cutters just really getting the job done for Vegan, making life tough for Teflon. They now have 2 outs again here. Takes ball 1 inside. Swings at a fastball that would have been ball 2, but I can relate there. I understand feeling the need to swing at some of those fastballs that are kind of close to the zone. Good layoff there. Count falls at 2-2 after that pitch in the dirt, but they swing at the cutter away, and you hate to see it, but they will have to get back to work again on the mound as this game is getting later and later. We're in the bottom of the 6th now. Kind of moving at a really fast pace, all things considered here for both teams.
Yeah, I'd like to see Teflon settle down. It was actually a lot like me earlier against Dwayne. I got a little bit rattled at the plate when nothing would go my way, and I started. You really have to, especially in the XBL, you have to really fight the ball to the middle. You cannot be swinging at balls that are off the plate. And I feel like right now Teflon is kind of going with the best defense is a good offense, but it's not working for him. He's got to force Vegan, who isn't really the greatest locator, to make a mistake.
Yeah, Vegan's certainly given him some opportunities, some pitches over the heart of the plate. He just hasn't been able to connect on any meaningful pitches quite yet. So that is definitely subject to change as long as the game stays within 2 or 3 runs, allow that pressure meter to stay into play. That's kind of one critical component for Teflon's offense, I think. If he has a 3/4 or a full pressure meter, his hitters really kind of come alive. And he does also himself just have that clutch gene, I think, in a lot of close games. Last season, we saw a lot of 1-run victories go their way. They're hoping to get as many as needed here this season, but they're going to have to put themselves in a position to do so as we're now in the top of the 7th. And it's a leadoff strike 3 called actually there on the upper half of the zone. Blue gave Vegan the call, and then swinging at that first pitch here now is a grounder to second base. So 2 quick outs, and Blossom back up to the plate.
I get the feeling just from the last couple of bats, that I do think that Teflon realizes he's going to have to be slightly more selective here. See, he's trying to get something.
Yeah, he's worked himself into a hitter's 3-1 count. Pitch comes, and it would have been ball 4, instead grounded softly to short for the 3rd and final out. Gonna have to try again next inning as they're only down to their final 6 outs of this ball game. Meanwhile, Vegan and the Rhubarbs looking for some insurance here as they have their 2-spot hitter, Brianna Blueberry, at the dish. Takes a low pitch, barely missing the zone there. That screwball low and outside. Curveball nicely placed though. Hay collector activated. Let's see if Vegan expects the fastball. Late on it, triple digits. See ya. Back to the dugout. They take their walk, and there's the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
I like Teflon's approach with his pitching. I mean, his locateds, of course, it looks great, but he's mixing things up. And one thing about Viggs, like I was trying to say, is if you just keep coming with the fastball, which technically is what you have to throw him, he can really get to it, right? Because those players, AJ, all of them, if they know it's coming, they can get there a little bit quicker, and then it feels like you don't have anything else to throw them.
Yeah, changeup Vegan was just a little ahead on. Why it was fouled down that first base side. Count stays at 2-2. Fastball misses outside to take it full. This ball appears to miss outside. Another lag pitch. We've seen Teflon have to suffer with that consequence a couple times now. Just really out of their control. Vegan is a contact hitter. I think I've seen them joke around in the past couple days about trying to power swing in scrims, but they are known as a non-power hitter, just contact only. And I don't really see that lag pitch from the previous at-bat, being swung at with how good their eye has been so far this game. So there's 2 outs now after that fly ball is caught. Runner at first, and Grapefruit looking to get some damage done here. The reliever is now throwing the 30th pitch in there for strike 2. Activates K Collector, going right back to the cut fastball. Second baseman dives and actually catches it before it hits the dirt for out number 3. As the Flower Bombs, as I mentioned earlier, down to their final 6 outs. Only 2 hits on the night and make it 3. It's a nice leadoff single swinging at that first pitch.
I was just going to say right before that swing, if I'm Flower Bombs Nation, I'm pretty excited here. I'm in a good position to potentially beat a really, really tough, stout player when I really need a win.
Vegan throws a fastball in there for strike 1 and then goes to Lisa Lime, the reliever.
The turtle monster.
Yeah, not happy with that as it's a meatball down the middle, not swung at. Oh, these are some of the pitches that Teflon and the Flower Bombs need to take advantage of here with a full pressure meter in a 1-run game. Easier said than done. They swing on a fastball, but they foul it off. They fight for another chance here at this at-bat. Fastball in. Reticle misses, though. It's a strikeout for out number 1.
Yeah, the one thing is if you're going to be the best of the best, or if you're going to beat the best of the best, you can't worry about how good the pitcher is. You just got to hit.
The hit and run was on, and it's the pitcher at the plate. Oh, no. They got everything wrong. The fundamentals did not work out. Runner was caught stealing.
I like the aggressiveness, though.
I do like the aggressiveness, 100%. I just don't know if that was the batter maybe wanted to see it
Bad
on, but
timing,
I don't hate it. Just did not work in their favor here, so they're going to have to try to maintain the score as is. Getting a, a quick first out. Vegan and the Rhubarb still chasing some insurance late in this ball game now. Bottom of the 8th, pressure meter 3 out of 4. Teflon going to pause just to try to let the little lag spike pass through here. Fouled away. Count goes to 1-2 again. K Collector becomes activated. And it's fouled over to the first base side. Actually in fair territory, but taken care of easily. Harmless contact, so 2 away now. Teflon is 1 out away from making it back to the plate themselves in a 1-run ball game here at the Corral, home of the Rhubarbs.
It's absolutely shocking how well Teflon has pitched here. He's had weak pitchers almost the entire game and has held exactly the type of player you can't throw weak pitchers to 2 runs so far.
Full count with 2 outs. I think it's a fastball on the way. No, it's a screwball. It's driven into right field, and it's caught at the ankles by that right fielder. So the Flower Bombs facing their final 3 outs here at top of the 9th. Top of the lineup. Swings at the first pitch again. It's going to be grounded to second for out number 1.
Got to get somebody on here.
Take the fastball
the pressure
high.
meter is jacked. Maybe get somebody with clutch up there.
Oh, a hit robbed. Should have gone up the middle infield. Instead, the pitcher comes to the rescue for the Rhubarbs and secures the second out. Flower Bombs facing their final out here. It's DD, the 3-spot hitter. Carries the low pitch trait. The 1-1 count. Fastball on its way. Swung on and missed. 1-2 here. Fouled away to the first base side, but it might stay in play. It does, and it's captured there by the first baseman, securing the victory here in Game 1 for the Rhubarbs.
Yeah, it was all the pitchers this time, Zlat. Both players played well. It was a pitcher's game.
Definitely a pitcher's game. We saw some good sequencing, and Teflon had a bit of a tough hand there. Their starting pitcher got hit right in the head early, and so they had to try to utilize a pitcher with really no stats at all. So I think you got to tip your cap 100% to Teflon there for being able to keep Vegan and their offense really quiet most of the game. He continued to hit his spots, just wasn't able to convert some of those opportunities later in the middle parts and later parts of the game. So as we said, game 1 in favor of the Rhubarbs. Gonna take a brief intermission here, get the stream point of view switched over to watch from the Rhubarbs perspective in game 2. So we will be back on your screens in just a moment, folks. Alrighty, folks, game 2 gonna be underway here. Home of the Flower Bombs in Lafayette Corner. After we just saw game 1 in favor of the Rhubarbs by a score of 2-1.
You know, I have an interesting, I believe fact here, Zlat. When I played Dwayne earlier, we had a weird shutdown, disconnect, some kind of a weird thing that Mama had. And we ended up playing, I believe, Lafayette for both games, which, unless Lafayette is Dwayne's home stadium, which maybe it is, but I have a feeling it's not. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. Actually, I think I'm confused. I think we played Red Rock in game 1. I'm crazy.
Yeah,
These losses are catching up to me, Zlat. They
Red
really
Rock
are.
was game 1.
Yeah, Red Rock was game 1. I just realized that as I was saying that. I was thinking we got there was a weird disconnect though at the end of game 1.
Yeah, I was mentioning to you before we fired the stream up that I wasn't able to catch both games tonight. I was able to catch part of game 2, so I did not have to witness any shenanigans there with Metalhead and disconnects, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure you guys probably got it sorted in the way it needed to. Hoping we don't have to deal with anything.
I think it was more of I think it was more of a Twitch drop. I think Mama somehow lost. It was kind of a weird thing at the beginning of game 2, but it all worked out.
Gotcha. Like this one's hit hard from Vegan, but caught out there in center. So they go 1, 2, 3 in the first. As looks like the firebombs and both players kind of noticing some lag here with the player animations. They're gonna take a brief moment to delay and kind of wait for it to go by the wayside. Kathy Current gonna be on the mound here for the Rhubarbs here in game 2. The stadium is definitely more conducive to Teflon's offense here. The shorter dimensions, just by a little bit. The crowd does have some deep, cavernous parts. We didn't really see the Flower Bomb's bats test those boundaries much, but I'm sure that will change here in Game 2 at Lafayette. Much more of a hitter's park.
Yeah, if nothing else, I think the Flower Bombs are, you know, they've seen plenty of turtle arsenal today, so that this is another tough, fully stacked turtle in Kathy Current.
Yeah, I feel like Vegan's starters are pretty much all identical. Maybe just a couple of accuracy points or something that are different, but from what I remember looking through, they carried identical arsenals and velo. As this one is hit past the shortstop, did not have a chance at it, so it's a 2-out single here in the first for the Flower Bombs. Get their first base runner of the game, and Foxy Lady Glove will step in here. She sends this one on a ride to deep center. Pineapple's back at the track.
Wow.
They're going to have to jump to make the play. They don't. It's off the wall. The runner from first is rounding all the way, hustling and making it in to score for the Flower Bombs here in the first. That's the kind of offense the Flower Bombs are going to need to challenge the Rhubarbs here in this series, as they do fly out to end the inning, but a pair of hits and a run scored is a great start here for the Flower Bombs. Vegan is going to have to answer in kind, I think. It's sort of similar to how Game 1 started, but the offense for both players fizzled out as the game went on, so it'll be interesting to see how Vegan responds here in the top of the second. Interesting pitcher build here from Teflon as they carry the K Neglector and Elite Curveball, so they're trying to really utilize that low velo. And they do induce a pop-up, a fly out there to left field to start the second inning.
Yeah, this is an interesting pitcher in Curve. I don't know how this will play against Vigs, but based on Game 1, it certainly is possible.
Yeah, I mean, just that, you know, that difference in the velo. Oh, a diving shortstop tried to make a nice play on that ball, but it was flared into center field. Does find the grass for a base hit. But I was just going to say the difference in the off-speed versus the velo, it's really, really noticeable here when you have such low velo stats, as well as the K Neglector trait to boot. It's a hard hit ball.
Yeah, that's where you want to. That's definitely where you want to put the K Neglector, but normally I would be extremely worried about this pitcher against Vigs, but Teflon proved to me in Game 1 that he can get it done with a pitcher like this, especially with some accuracy.
Patricia Pineapple steps into the dish here. She sends one on a deep ride to center. There's 2 outs, though, and the center fielder does get under that to secure the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll switch sides here as Big Baby Blossom will step up to the plate, looking to continue the offense that was clicking there in the first inning for the Flower Bombs. Can they replicate it and continue the same kind of tempo here? Going to find themselves in a 1-2 count, swinging at a changeup low and possibly outside. Now a cut fastball low at the knees, and they do swing and miss there. It's a strikeout for Vegan. Teflon swings at the first pitch curveball. Just such low velo on the pitch itself that it was grounded over to the shortstop and dealt with pretty harmlessly there. You can see Vegan going back to the fastball, changing up the velo pitch by pitch. This time the second fastball was kind of sat on and connected well back up through the middle infield. So another 2-out single for the Flower Bombs, identical to what they had in the first inning. This time, though, the pitcher is at the plate, and they flare one into right field. It's going over that first baseman's head. Lead runner does not advance, so staying there at first and second, but a solid at-bat there from Teflon, getting a single with the pitcher. Oh, just unfortunate. The shortstop was kind of holding the runner and positioned perfectly there for that ground ball. And that will be the end of the inning. Vegan will look to try to get their offense going here. It's been a little slow to start game 2, but we know all it takes is just 1/2 inning for them to really kind of walk in with the reticle, string some singles back to back, get things going. As it is, though, or as it were, I should say, the perfect reticle just kind of grounded the second baseman. That doesn't feel great. This one, though, shot back up through the middle infield. So 1 out and 1 on as the Rhubarbs look to work down their batting order as it's turned over here to Lacey Lychee, the #1 spot. See them take a curveball outside. Flared to left field, taken care of easily here. There's now 2 outs. Brianna Blueberry carrying the high pitch trait. Swings early on the changeup low and inside. Fastball over the heart of the plate. Rocketed to center. This has a chance. It's gone over the wall. 400 plus feet. I'm going to say 412 as that thing was rocketed. And it's a quick turn of events here as the Rhubarbs take a lead 2-1.
Yeah, no cheapie there. That's the one spot at Lafayette that you really have to put a charge into it, and that was the case.
I think they got the ticker out there. It's 418 is what I'm hearing on the home run distance, but you do not see many home runs from Vegan, and that was a big one there. They hit another hard ball to right field. It's just going to be a single, but like I was saying earlier, once the Rhubarbs can kind of walk in that reticle, they got the timing down. They're starting to get some runs and hits together here. Okay, I was worried for a moment. That was a very long pause by Teflon, but now it definitely appears to be intentional. Kind of similar sometimes to how a disconnect can happen. So thankfully that is not the case. There's a beautiful curveball arced into the zone for a 2-2 count. This curveball dangerously over the plate, deep at the warning track. Left fielder's there, and they do make the catch to take care of the inning, but the damage has been done. Rhubarbs have taken their lead here in game 2.
Teflon is finding himself very early in this game in a similar situation with a 2-1 game, trying to fight uphill. But I think it can be done. I think he's getting used to these similar style pitchers, which personally, I don't think throwing the same pitcher at people is a good thing.
Yeah, it's maybe a double-edged sword, because if it works, then it might work twice in a row,
Right.
which is great. But if it doesn't work, then you're kind of out of options. So can't really be too creative with the same build 4 times in a row. But maybe that's a playoff problem that Vegan might have to consider. Here in the regular season, of course, those series are just 2 games against each opponent. So maybe they'll have to wait and see how the postseason plays out before they consider making changes to the rotation, because so far it has been working out pretty well for them here in season 20. Another pitch left over the heart of the plate. That's a gapper. Center fielder dives, but really didn't have a true chance at it. So that'll be a nice extra base hit there for the Rhubarbs, as they have a runner at second and only 1 away here in the 4th.
Number 13.
Hard hit ball. Diving third baseman Wisteria makes a great play at the hot corner for out number 2.
Number 12.
This ball, fastball low at the knees, sliced over to the second baseman and taken care of for that third and final out. So I'm personally curious to see what kind of leash is going to be held against that Flower Bombs pitcher, because they have low velo and they were starting to get rocked a little bit here.
Oh,
Ball flared into center, finding that
That's a
outfield
big
curve.
single.
Yeah, that is a great leadoff hit there for the Flower Bombs, and kind of at the perfect time because their bats have been a little hot, a little cold. Looking to try to heat them up again here. Oh, a missed target. That ball is going to get by him. It's a passed ball. Runner advances 90 feet, so they're now in scoring position. And the high pitch trade is looking ever more dangerous here on Big Baby Blossom as they take a changeup low for strike one. Another strike over the heart of the plate, not swung at for a 2-2 count. And then a fastball below the zone, knocked down by the third baseman, but everybody's going to be safe. That ball was almost down the line. Good defense to take away the extra bases and prevent the run from scoring, but there are no outs at the moment. See how Vegan will pitch in this situation here. Strike two, a great located fastball. Gonna go off speed, gets the bunt down. Oh, a beautifully executed play there. A sacrifice bunt and extends that runner up there to second. We have a tie ball game missed.
Yeah, credit to the Flower Bombs here. Starting to look really sharp.
Yeah, Vegan quickly decided to throw to first and may have had a chance on the slow runner going to third, as Teflon did not attempt any sort of pause or diddle, but they swing at the cutter, and that's going to be harmlessly dealt with there. So not quite able to convert that remaining runner in scoring position, but they did tie this ball game here. It's 2 apiece as we go into the 5th inning.
Yeah, just to clarify for the chat, we had a situation here earlier where there was 2 feeds coming in, so I was announcing off of a different feed. I don't know if you know this, Lap, but there was 2 feeds coming in, and we were announcing from different perspectives.
Oh, were you
for a
still
short
on
period of time there?
Teflon's for a little bit there?
Yeah, I was, and it was
okay.
delayed.
That's funny.
Or
Yeah.
it was actually ahead.
Well, nice solid contact there from Vegan, a leadoff single on a full count. So a good at bat there for the Rhubarbs as they get a runner on. And Lacey Lychee, the number 1 spot, back up here to take their 3rd at bat of the day. They do carry that fastball hitter trait. Not sure how many fastballs Teflon feels comfortable throwing at this point.
I'm still shocked at how well Teflon has pitched against Vigs.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that Teflon was a solid pitcher. You know, just the offense is always the question, and definitely showcasing that here this evening on Match of the Week, hitting their spots for the most part. And Vegan is not a fun, you know, person to pitch to, just because of how good their eye is and how much contact they can make consistently. As there's another comebacker off the pitcher, and they're gonna lose mojo. I think it was just a lower groin issue there, so no fitness injury necessarily, but they do enter the rattled state. That could potentially work in Teflon's favor, I suppose, but he's contemplating going to the bullpen here. Yep, it's the same reliever we saw come in Game 1. Paradise now entering again here in Game 2 with runners at first and second, nobody out. Hard hit ball to second, caught in the air, so no real chance at a double play as the runners were retreating, but they remain at their stations here, and another chance at a double play could force the end of the inning here. Ending the Rhubarb's thread. It's quickly an 0-2 count. K-Collector activated. Oh, it's lofted into center. Beautiful piece of hitting from Vegan here. Lead runner retreats to third, but the bases are loaded. Missed.
Yeah, big opportunity. Huge opportunity, especially with only 1 down. You just can't ground out here. You can't have him come home to first.
Oh, yeah. Teflon's very hyper aware of the low pitch trait, not wanting to mess with that too much as he's actually worked ahead in the count now. 1 and 2. K Collector activated yet again. Vegan lays off the high fastball. Nowhere near the zone.
Chase. Good pitch.
Another one. Count goes full. Nowhere to miss. See where the pitch comes up. It's on its way here from Paradise. And Vegan is ahead of it. It's an off-speed outside. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. But the job is not done. Gertrude Grapefruit, the RBI hero, steps in. An even more dangerous hitter than the last.
He has to get out of this. He's got to. He just has to, Zlat. He's got to do this. This is the game.
Second baseman makes the jump, and they do get the final out. Great defense there. And great pitching placement from Teflon. They escape a bases-loaded jam. And do not allow any runs to score there. That could be the turning point that the Firebombs need, and they could kind of motivate their offense to get the job done here. They need to get another run, of course, but what a huge moment there from the Firebomb.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't think defense matters, pay attention. Defense matters a lot.
A bit of a mishap bouncing off the pitcher there, unable to get the out, so leadoff runner is on base. For some reason, oh, never mind. I was misreading the defensive alignment there. Okay, they are in double play depth. This one hit hard to right field. It's not going to find the grass. It is caught out there for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, Teflon and the Firebombs have a runner at first. Their 3-spot hitter, DD the second. She carries the low pitch trait and plenty of batting stats. As Teflon hoping to get a pitch to hit, that's not going to be it. It's 2-1 as they're backed off. Changeup coming low, and Teflon expected fastball. So the count goes 2-2. Another one in on the hands. You can see Vegan's totally picked up on the fact that Teflon's likely to swing at those pitches. Fastballs in on the hands. This one a little too high. It looks like he's trying to induce a chase swing, but he actually left it a little too close to the zone there, just below it. It's sent back up the middle for a base hit, so runners now at first and second, and Vegan evaluating the rest of the batting order here. Only 56 pitches so far through 4 1/3 for the starter of the Rhubarbs. But RBI hero is in effect, and this ball's going to fall. It hits the grass in left field, and everybody's safe.
Big opportunity. This is it. Gotta go. I keep saying it, but he needs some magic. It's going to be tough to beat Biggs.
Yeah, both
Gotta
players
get a hit here.
Getting an opportunity this inning with bases loaded. Let's see how Teflon handles the pressure here. 1-1 count. Vegan going fastball up and in. Runners were moving because there's only one out. No double play anymore. Firebombs, very risky play. They gamble everything, but it pays off. And they convert that runner. It's 3-2 now.
Yeah, see, he senses the urgency. There's no room for error here. He needed a run, and he got one.
A huge run for the Firebombs as they do take the lead. They have 2 runners still in scoring position here. That ball is fouled down the third base side, so it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs here. A fastball low and in. A good eye from Teflon lays off. Pressure meter 3 out of 4. Sends this fastball high, but foul and playable for the left fielder for the third and final out there. So they do convert the lead change. It's a 3-2 ball game. Vegan is back behind the 8 ball here, needing to figure some things out. Try to turn this around.
Oh, you don't want a lead single there.
I would be so interested to learn of the hitters in the league how many start off with leadoff singles. Like, how many of their leadoff batters get on base? I wish we could track stats like that.
Oh, those are just they're so against certain players. Some players, it's really not a big deal, but certain players, it's just as soon as that player touches the bag, your whole demeanor changes.
Vegan lays off a fastball and a hitter's count over the heart of the plate. That is shocking to me, but the K Collector activated, and he's... Wow, the changeup, the off speed, he was not expecting it. way early on the swing. You can see the reticle is basically perfect for a contact swing approach. This one, first pitch swinging, sent to left field. So 2 quick
Lucky.
outs
That
after
was luck.
Yeah, that certainly could have been sent over the wall on a different day, but not the case there. 2 outs now. Runner at first. Vegan contemplating a lineup decision here to pinch hit for the starter. Looks like they are not. Oh, they are going with Amy Apricot. So, pinch hit situation. Pressure meter 3 out of 4. And Vegan's eye continues to just be impeccable there as you see 3 balls in a row now. Oh, Screwball just barely clips the zone. 3-1 hitters count. Vegan takes a fastball in on the hands. Ball 4. So a solid pinch hit appearance there. Windup now turns over, and the trouble with that is the RBI 0 in effect.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say Paradise didn't seem overly interested in pitching to that last hitter. I think a bit more comfortable here, but is still going to have to locate.
Yeah, missing the zone, and now on her 30th pitch here, missing the zone again. It's a 3-1 hitters count. Vegan takes it again. It's a back-to-back walk scenario, which has now loaded the bases. I think this is the 3rd half inning in a row missed where we've seen bases loaded.
Oh, big pitch.
Quickly, 0-2. K Collector activated. Paradise throws a fastball, does not get a chase as it was well in the dirt. This one again in the dirt. Vegan's eye is just too good for that. So count is even up at 2-2. Make it full now. Nowhere to put him. This pitch has to be a striker put in play, and he swings at it. I think it even might have missed the zone, but the change in velocity gets him, and the rhubarbs continue to go back empty-handed. 2 innings in a row of bases loaded opportunities. Nothing to show for it.
Okay, suckered him into banking on that K Collector.
Yeah, Teflon's pitching. At times, he's backed himself into some difficult corners, but he's truly so far been pitching mostly lights out in terms of just, pitching to contact, getting the outs when he needs them. Defense has come up huge a couple of times, and here in Game 2, the Flower Bombs are looking to even the series. It's a 3-2 scoreline. They're getting closer and closer by the inning to doing just that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here, Slat, is this lead is not going to hold. It's a nice lead, but I think Flower Bombs need 2 more runs.
Solid piece of hitting there. They had a well-placed reticle for that 2-out single. As they're looking to turn their lineup over. Now it's Morning Glory, the 1-spot hitter. Does have 2 homers on the season. Doesn't matter. First pitch swinging. Grounded to the second baseman. Side retired. So we enter the final third of Game 2 here. Top of the 7th. Rhubarbs down 1. And they're in the heart of their batting order here. It's a 3-spot hitter, Betty Blackberry, looking for an off-speed pitch. Doesn't get one, and they're actually going to ground 1 to second as well. A lot of ground balls to the middle infield so far in the series, as Vegan shows the reticle there. Ooh, low pitch activated there, but fouled down the third base side. And the velo again switching up on Vegan. The changeup produces a swing and miss. Teflon goes with the fastball. Lady Glove dives at short to make the play. Fires the first in time, and you see a double mojo boost. One for the pitcher. The reliever becomes locked in, and the shortstop also locked in. Hard hit ball. Second baseman, second jumping grab of the game. Defense is the name of the game here for the Flower Bombs.
Yeah, Teflon definitely has the Midas touch here in this game. It seems like all of the little things, everything is building up, but I still think, at minimum 1, but probably needs 2 more runs here because you're not going to hold a batter like Vegan down for this many innings.
Yeah, the Rhubarbs do tally their first out here in the bottom of the 7th on a fly ball to left. This one hard hit. First baseman doesn't jump in time, and that could be extra bases. Blueberry mishandles it. It's bouncing around in the corner in right field. So a 1-out double here for the Flower Bombs in a very, very, enticing situation, looking to extend their lead.
This hitter.
Exactly. It's the shortstop that made that diving play in the previous half inning. They're going to get intentionally walked here. The Bonds treatment. Just take your base. Get out of my face. And runners now at first and second. Teflon swings at the first pitch. Dribbler up the middle. The throw at first is not in time. The speed was too much from the batter, and the bases are loaded again. 4 half innings in a row, 2 full innings. Both players having multiple chances with bases loaded. This one sent to the gap in right center. Blueberry, it's not going to get there. The ball drops. Pineapple collects, and the runners round the bases. It's a bases clearing double here for the Flower Bombs. A huge moment in the 7th.
Wow, and all of that was set up by the bravado of that one hitter that basically just forced a walk. And now the wheels have come off.
Out number 2 tallied, but that lead runner doesn't advance 90 feet there to third. Swings at this first pitch. It's going to be a grounder and end the inning, but what an inning from Teflon and the Flower Bombs at 3 spot. A huge moment. Is that enough now, Mist? You were saying 5 or 6 earlier. Do you stand by that?
I stand by it because I like Teflon's pitching a lot. I can't believe he's pitching this. I mean, you said he's a good pitcher, and I think he is, but this is really above and beyond. It makes you question. Veeks has been hitting so well lately, and it's always been the book, I would assume, just based on his hitting style, to throw the fastball. It's amazing what's working here tonight.
Yeah, I gotta say, personally, as we see this ball, again, on another day, especially if it was power swung, that thing would be well out of the stadium, but it's actually going to find the glove of the center fielder there. What I was going to say is I'm surprised Teflon has kept this reliever in, who's now approaching 55 pitches. Clearly no stats to work with, but Teflon must have picked up on the fact that the velo dropping is actually not working in Vegan's favor, as they just cannot find that final answer to punch those runners across. So we're going to see another pinch hit situation likely here for the Rhubarbs as Olivia Orange steps in. But they do have, with 2 outs now, a runner at first.
I was just going to say, you make a really good point there, Zlat. I think sometimes with people like Eddie and will mush any of these contact first hitters like Biggs, sometimes, there's a big difference. If they're not catching up, then you just completely just blow fastballs into the corners. But once they can catch up, it's hard to hit slow pitches and weak pitchers with contact hitting because you can't really hit the ball very far.
Yeah, how about going from 0 to 100? Literally, we see this closer come in. Look at those stats. They're throwing 102 fastballs, and that one is going to be blown by Vegan. Unable to get any conversion there from the 2 runners on base. They're going to have to try again in the 9th as the closer is actually up to the plate here, as Vegan comically showing, thought about throwing it at their dome for just a second. Not really, but.
I want to point out we've got the star of the show here. Rachel is in.
Yeah, Rachel going closer for closer. This one fouled away on the first pitch. Oh, that's a mislocated changeup, and Teflon just watched it. Gonna see a cutter in the other batter's box sent foul down that first base side. Looks to do it again here. Rachel, the submarine thrower, gets a ground ball to second. That'll be out number 2.
You can see him just, banking on that arm angle. He knows exactly where to pitch her.
Yeah, a lot of people not looking forward to a submarine thrower here, especially with any kind of velo, as it's just not the easiest to hit, but they do get a 2-out single there. The runner at first with pretty good speed. Rachel's stamina starting to dwindle as they've approached, past that 10-pitch mark. Oh, a comebacker, and it's off her glove. No play. Everybody's safe here. So the Flower Bombs get the Bonds batter and the shortstop of Foxy Lady Glove. Look at those stats again and the traits. Everything is maxed out. Vegan does not want to give him the intentional walk, and this one, it works out in their favor as it's grounded to second. They're just going to tag the runner for the third out. Wow, that could come back to bite them. We're going to have to see how Vegan handles the situation here. If they can get any runners early. They've been known to get leadoff singles rather often in the series. Oh boy, a nice strikeout there as Teflon gives them the fastball treatment, low and outside. Vegan could not catch up to it. The tricky thing about this closer build is their stamina is going to start to dwindle pretty fast. So if you're Teflon, you're hoping you can get locked in here to avoid a significant velo drop-off. Vegan swings at that fastball out of the zone. Oh my, the second baseman missed it. What were they doing?
You do see some of those. I'm not sure.
We know the XBL gambling has come back. Oh, never mind. I'll eat my words. A double play to end it. And a very worthy victory there for the Flower Bombs. The split between the two teams. And what a game two we got to witness there, Mist.
It's what Misto prayed for, which was a really nice competitive split. I'm really happy for Teflon because he needed to win a lot more than Viggs, who's just playing fantastic ball. I don't think Viggs expected to to run into the kind of pitching that was happening, and some of the situations it seemed like there was multiple injured pitchers, some goofy empty pitchers coming at him, and still pulled a win. So good for Viggs, good for Teflon.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with quite a bit of misfortune, to be honest, with Teflon's pitchers getting hit. I also want to say Vegan's kind of known for doing that. I feel like most games I've tuned into, they're able to kind of square up a lot of balls, hit directly back up through the middle, often glancing off the pitcher. So Teflon got their own taste of that tonight, but they battled there. They went down in game one, really struggled at the plate. Kind of, game two rolled around, dusted themselves off, got an early run, and then, had a couple chances with bases loaded. They really took that game by the horns there. And that second time, with having those bases loaded, a bases clearing double, extending their lead, and then having the closer to rely on just the ridiculous stats. I don't know offhand what their salary is, but I'm sure that's one of, if not the most expensive closer in the XBL. Just eyeballing those stats there.
Excuse me, Zach. I was gonna say, even though there was a few lulls in game one, just because the pitching was so dominant, it still was an extremely competitive series. And I was happy to see Rachel come in and dominate there at the end for Viggs because that's his girl. And you could see Teflon just couldn't read anything. There wasn't one pitch she threw up there that he had any clue about. So Rachel's the GOAT. And both of these players really showed out. So I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, super happy to see a split there on a match of the week. It's always good for players to get a victory under the lights. So both players able to do that here this evening. And just a decent showing there for both players. Carrying on with their seasons here. It's a long season, multiple weeks. We try to keep it to about 7 or so weeks of gameplay, and we are approaching a midway point here pretty soon, folks. It's sneaking up on us as playoffs are going to start to, the playoff picture and landscape is going to start to formulate here in the next week or two. We just kind of need more players to get some games in. We have put a reminder out, of course, about the schedule. There's not really any worry about anyone, but it's just something to, a good reminder here as we approach the midway point of the season. So just continue to get your games in, folks. Make sure you're pinging in the right channels and even DMing people that may have certain things muted. So it's always a good idea to shoot a DM off. But either way, hey, it was a lot of fun here tonight. Thanks for joining me, Mist. Any final words or things you wanted to shout out here before we end the stream?
Oh, just want to say it was a fun night of baseball. I think we had a good first set with me and D, and then this set was certainly as much as we could ask for. You made a good point there. Those DM people, especially if you yourself are not around a lot and not checking, series schedule constantly. Don't show up and think you're going to get games in. Within 30 minutes, people are going to be begging for games, especially as you get later in the season. That might work the first couple weekends when everybody's looking for games, but you need to private message people, even if they're not your friends. Send them a message, send them a friend message, and get in there and get your games in, because everyone's busy. But if we really try, we can get these games in, and it's been a great season here so far. um as it was tonight.
Yep, yeah, definitely a great season still carrying forward. We do have the series request channel for pretty much, like on the spot, spontaneous matchmaking. We do have a weekly availability channel. It's over there in that secondary chats category. But I would recommend pinging your league respectively, and just kind of letting people know there what your typical availability is. And of course, yeah, like we harped on there, just kind of DM or privately message people that you haven't yet played. You can always keep track of who you have and haven't played on our website. There we have a series grid for all the games and series that have been played, so be sure to check that out. And that link should be in our Twitch bio description, as well as on the Discord in various spots over in the welcome area as well. So yeah, good little recap there. And thanks again for both players streaming both point of views. That's always a lot of fun. So it's a good showing here tonight for both you guys. You had your fun with Dwayne in the previous set there this evening. So AAA, AA, XBL, everybody's rolling. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight for our showcase here, Match of the Week number 3. And we appreciate your time, folks. We're going to wrap it here. Have a great rest of your night and a good start to your week.